Hey guys, welcome to the
Horse Girls Podcast.
My name's Nana.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is where chaos
and glamour
finds a distance.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So we're finally here. It's officially the first episode.
Yes.
It's been like a long, while in the making. I know you guys have been waiting. I hope at least. Maybe you forgot about us by now because it's been so long, but it's fine. So yeah, we're really gearing up with this first episode. We really wanted to create like an authentic space for, equestrians to have opinions.
Yes.
And just go through everything.
Be
even
real.
if it's just be real, yeah.
Authentic.
And so we're being authentic here. We're literally filming at my barn.
Beautiful.
And so, yeah, this is an amazing location. Literally, it always has weddings here. So I didn't even check the calendar. I don't even know where the calendar is to check that, but there's no wedding today, so I think it's our lucky day.
We're so
And we're
lucky.
also battling the light, so just bear with us.
Yeah, bear with us. We're gonna speed through it because the sun is just gonna cast in a second. Just speed through this part because the sun is coming. It's gonna shed a tiny light right by there. So we're gonna power through this, but. We're here. I'm so grateful right now because the barn setup is beautiful.
It's so beautiful. We're so thankful that we can use this space and just it's been we've already filmed, I'm not gonna lie, but we already filmed a video, a podcast episode, and it's gonna be on the bloopers section of podcast because we filmed it in Cornwall Stall, and he was, a little bit angry that we were filming in a sleeping spot.
Yeah.
So he was trying to lay down next, over there. He was like, this is not going to work. So he's kind of trying to accelerate the process. It's hilarious, honestly, because he was so patient with us. But yeah, we'll have that in the bloopers. So one day you guys will see that.
Yeah, one day you guys will definitely see that.
But yeah, this is officially the first official podcast episode. Yes. And today we have a really fun topic for you guys. It's a topic that, I think with TikTok especially, I feel like I've been I'm kind of okay, I'm not known as anything because I feel like I'm low-key forgotten on TikTok since I went on a hiatus. But back when I was cool on TikTok,
not cool.
I literally was people would get me ask me so many questions about how do you travel and the world for show jumping, because I'm really fortunate to have the opportunity to be able to travel to all these different places and visit family in all these places, and I always take my saddle with me and I always get to ride in these really crazy cool locations.
Yes.
And for me, whenever I go to a new city, I'm where's the stable? Where's the nearest stable? It drives everybody that I'm with, whether it's friends or family, crazy. But that's what they get when they go on a trip with me.
That's what I do as well. I also travel as well riding, and the first thing I ask on a trip is where is a place I can ride? Am I going to be doing my riding? But honestly, that's how you really get good. It's just you go around and you find barns that you can ride at. So I've ridden at some of the most interesting places internationally.
That's so cool.
I've been I've ridden in Greece, I've ridden in Italy, and I've ridden in Ghana now. And there's just so many interesting stories and lessons that you learn from abroad.
It's so everywhere you go, I feel the riding style is so different, and the way they handle the horses, and the way it's just it's a new sport almost. When
literally
you go to
a new sport,
new place.
Yeah, and I just also wanted to preference at we're. The Horse Girls Podcast, this is a fun kiki, right, guys? This is, where we kiki. We're going to talk about very funny stuff. We're very comedic, both of us. I know, if you've seen my TikToks, you know that, comedy is my thing.
Exactly.
So, if we just say some, out-of-pocket stuff in this, you're just going to have to bear with us.
It's, no filter zone.
No filter.
I'm sorry about that.
No filter.
In advance.
Yeah, we're literally going to be authentically us. So, you're going to get us in the moment. So, PSA, if you kind of get easily offended, maybe
this is not the
right one for you.
But it's fine. You'll just have to see if you can
handle
take our authenticity and truth.
Yeah, and I mean, if you also do get offended, just watch the podcast. Yeah. Honestly, just watch, because it's just fun, dude.
It'll be fun, and every episode is going to be different. So we're going to focus on different things. Today we're focusing on traveling the world for show jumping.
Let's go. We're gonna really hone in on the differences too of between all the different countries. We're gonna really talk about, and the continents too. We're going to the Americas, we're going to Europe. We're gonna talk about the differences. We're gonna talk about our experiences and just really analyze this.
Analyzing it, and also sharing maybe how you guys can do it as well.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
Which we have a really fun project, which is gonna facilitate the ability for riders to do that, coming very soon.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that launch date, but I think we're just gonna start and
let's go. We've got questions that how this works is we literally have questions for each other, and we're just gonna ask.
And we don't know what each other's questions are.
Yeah,
so
we don't know.
Honestly, Yeah, we're gonna do it on the spot. So we don't know what each other's gonna ask. Okay, so maybe I'll start off with the little. Just like, I'm gonna just break the ice, okay?
Yeah, we'll do like one by one.
What, out of all places that you've ridden, what is like your favorite country that you've ever ridden in?
Oh, wow. Ghana.
Ghana? Okay, why? What is a reason?
Ghana. So you know what's interesting about Ghana is they don't really have like an established like equestrian culture yet, because it's still a developing country. So everything's still like very new when it comes to equestrian. So there's not like any jumping really.
Okay. They don't have like English versus what? They don't have all that.
They don't have that. They just have like whatever is given them like supplies. Very kind of like rugged.
You know what? That's like the authentic way of doing it though. And I love that.
Yeah.
You know, you have the most fun honestly doing it that way. And it just becomes a spontaneous experience, and then you're like, I've had that too in certain countries where it's just like, wow, like this horse jumps and I didn't know that, and it's so cool.
That's literally what happened to me. So like,
and everybody's excited because they're like, you know, is this, and then everybody wants to, once you leave, they want to ride that horse because like I saw it jump.
Exactly. So it's a very rugged experience, you know, like I was riding like in an English saddle with a Western saddle pad because it's like that's all they really had, you know? But honestly, like the horses are so well trained because like they like really have to be well trained, you know, like they have to be.
Do they break like
they're for the military.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so all the horses equestrian centers in military zones?
Oh yeah. So I would ride I would go and it's called Burma Camp, and I would ride in a military.
You can take lessons there.
You can take lessons.
Oh wow.
You just come
And how do a lot of kids take lessons there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So they do a lot of fundraising, like they'll do events for kids in you know underdeveloped villages as well.
Oh, that's amazing.
Get them through horses, but anybody can come and ride. And what's so funny about Ghana is like I'm Ghanaian, you guys. So something about our culture that you guys should all know. We are literally, I don't know if any Ghanaians are watching this, you can relate. We are literally the most chill people. Like it's way too lax. Like the culture is way too freaking lax. Like you literally roll up to the freaking military and they're just like, how you doing? And you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then you just roll in and they're like, here's the horse. And I just
How do you pick? Do they pick what horse you ride?
Yeah, they pick. So you just tell them your experience. I told them that I've been riding 7 years in the U.S. and I was fairly experienced. So they're like, okay, we're gonna give you like one of the challenging horses.
Okay.
So they gave me Speed. And if you guys have watched my TikToks or seen my Instagram,
I don't know if you've ever had this like thing, but like whenever I travel and I know that I'm just gonna do like a casual little flat, a casual little trail ride, I've like have this instilled where I'm like, I hope low-key they don't give me the hard horse.
Yeah,
because,
me
like,
too.
I'm like, I don't want to like break my leg on like the horse that's like hard, and then it's like one thing is like, okay, like you don't want to break any bones ever, but there's just like this concept of like if you're like showing in like a high level class and you like slide off the side and then low-key, hopefully you didn't get hurt, but you slide off the side and you're like, okay, this was like for a purpose, I was like in the show ring, all this, but like if it's just like you literally break your leg going on a trail ride, like it's just like so
it's so
pathetic.
It's literally
it's kind of pathetic.
So pathetic.
It's so just like at that point it's like, bro, like I literally just wasted like my entire like riding like the next 2 months because I literally fell off on a trail ride. Yeah, at least if it's like, you know what, I was jumping like 1.60 m vertical, and like that's like, I feel like that's like more like proud than saying like, okay, yeah, I literally like, fell off on a trail ride. And it's just like, that's why I'm like, oh, I hope they don't give me like the crazy one. So sometimes when I do those trail ride things, I'm like, I don't know, I like calmer horses. Yeah. That's literally what I do. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I should start doing that too. I think I caught on like on my second trip that I should stop talking myself up. Because like there's literally, and we'll get into that, guys, there's literally so many times internationally I've literally embarrassed myself. Like it's bad. I've had so many bad like interesting experiences riding abroad. But Ghana, I did not embarrass myself. I was pretty good, and like everyone kind of, you know, like kind of respected me because I brought hunters there.
Oh, that's really cool.
And I brought that kind of education, and you know the horses they just
did they have like actual, because I've been to places where like I literally had to create like my own obstacles.
Yeah.
Did you do that too?
Yes. Okay, so I was training Speed how to jump, and they literally like set up just like sticks and stuff to like
that's so
jump
cool, because
over.
I did the same thing with in Tunisia, like, which was so amazing with the race horses. I like they had never jumped, and at first they didn't understand the concept that like you had to like step over it. So I don't know if you had this, but they would just keep cantering like and not jump over.
They wouldn't jump over it.
And they just canter and hit the pool as they canter.
Yeah, same with Speed. Like it was like very like hit the pole, so you had to almost like over exaggerate like your arch and the 2-point to like motivate them forward. You had to almost like literally push your body forward because you wanted them to take that leap, you know. So I literally had to go like no, like forward, you know, like way more like kind of arch than I ever had to do over such a tiny jump, just to make like motivate them to go a little bit forward. But like, you know, we did galloping mostly, and like the first time I ever like did a full-on like racehorse gallop was in Ghana.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
It was on speed.
Yeah, I did one time. There was this like equestrian center that I always like grew up going to in France, because I'm half French, so my family's from France, and there was this amazing equestrian center that I literally had in like a 5-minute drive from my house there. So lucky. And they had, this equestrian center is like the all-time, probably my most favorite place, and they had an indoor, a huge outdoor arena, 2 dressage arenas, an entire stable, an entire cross-country field, and a racetrack that goes around the whole entire property, and then beautiful trails like with vineyards.
That's gorgeous.
Like that is like the all-time complex, and they had these amazing, I think, racehorses from Qatar that they moved and flew there because it was such an amazing complex that they were there for a while.
Dang.
Yeah, and now I think the owner ended up building his own stable like not super far away, and he moved the horses there, maybe closer to Paris, but this was more in the outskirts. So yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, it's like the similar vibe in Ghana. It was like you had an open field and you just gallop, like that's all they really do. So it's like really learning how to gallop, and like the teachers were so excellent. Like his name was Moro, and he was like, it's kind of like the military chief, and had that military like regiment, so he was very like regiment and like strict, but like so educational, so much knowledge.
No, and they love the horses too, because
I love the horses.
I have some family in Tunisia, and it's amazing. Like every time when I'd been there, it was just like amazing because they all of these horses, like a lot of them, like, you know, they don't have, some of the places don't have infrastructure to ride, and these horses are just getting worked on the trails and all of that. And then when I said I wanted to jump, they were so sweet. They cleared out this little patch of like where they had dirt, and they cleared out all the rocks, and then we literally went in there with like whatever, the thing that scrapes the ground to dig up the dirt, so that like to create a space, and I was able to put like one jump in the middle, and everybody was so excited. Amazing. I was like, that is so cool. This was in North Africa. Like I had so much fun,
and like that's really that's like also a point I wanted to touch on too. On the thing is like, I really want people to understand that like when going to like these like, you know, like developing countries, like the ruggedness is like part of the experience,
and it's the charm. Like I love it.
It's so real. Yeah, it's so authentic, and it's like, you know, like sometimes like I was posting videos when I was Ghana, and people were like, oh, the horses are skinny and stuff like that, but like you guys have to understand, like there are limited resources in these countries,
and it's the same thing in Tunisia too. Like the horses are on the skinnier side, and it's like they don't have the same resources
that we have,
but they have such a strong like beautiful culture
and love
for the animal in the sport, that it's just like everything just ends up happening. You know?
Guys, go support these countries. Go support like specifically like Burma Camp, or like, you know, like the place you wrote in Tunisia. Like go support these countries, because like honestly, your support is what's going to help these like countries like really facilitate like equestrian and elevate it, and like also that's what we're going to do with our project as well.
We're hoping to be able to take these developing countries and kind of integrate like a riding, like helping different riding facilities develop like a program to help people that don't have the access to be able to ride, that would like to, and kind of integrate that in the in the places that we have been and that we are going to hopefully travel to. So that's part of like the whole bigger scheme of things with our project. So we're really excited.
We're so excited.
And I think people love horses, and some people just aren't able to afford it, and we want to be able to provide that opportunity eventually for people that do want to ride, because I think it's so important that people, you know, you should be able to do what you want to do, and money shouldn't be a factor.
It should never be a factor.
So I think that's our goal. So what kind of questions do you have for me? Like,
dude, I'm
moving one by one. So let's like, what is like one that you want to ask?
I have more of a juicier question.
Oh God.
You know me. I always come.
Juicy.
I always bring the tea. I always bring like the drama.
I'm like
a little
scared.
Bit. Be a little scared. Honestly, this one's a little chiller. I have the ones that are not as chill, but this one's. What is the strangest person you've met riding abroad? Like, not even just like equestrian. Like, is there anyone international that was just like, this is just such a strange situation?
Okay.
Like situation.
Okay.
Like you were like, what the heck am I?
So literally, I was riding this horse. Basically, ultimately, I had to become like a human barricade from getting a horse stolen away from me, and had to like padlock his stall at a horse show because they had a trailer loaded up to try to steal it away. And it was not my horse. I had leased him for like 1 month during the summer. from an agricultural high school, which they have in Europe, which I think they should have here. There's agricultural high school there where they learn about horses instead of like, you know, not the regular educational high school path is not it for everybody.
Yeah.
So they have this opportunity that people have these agricultural high schools where they can specialize in different things, and equine is one of them.
That's amazing.
And they are able to ride every day, learn about like all different aspects of like agriculture. Like it's amazing. Wow. So I was leasing this horse from this agricultural high school. Mind you, this is like a government owned horse. It's a government owned like run school. And I show up to a horse show, and it's like day 2. It was like a away horse show, so he was sleeping over there overnight.
Right.
And all of a sudden, there's this lady that is kind of pacing around, looking a little weird. And I looked at my mom. I was just kind of like, "That's weird. She keeps coming back." And I asked my trainer, and he's like, what's going on with this? And the trainer was separate, also that I was working with was separate from the actual horse as well. And so he's like, "I don't know." And so the school was there as well. So we went over, and he like kind of made a comment. And somebody went over and talked to her, and she's like, "That's my horse." What? And I was just like, "What?" And this lady said that apparently this horse was like, it was some kind of auction situation that they had auctioned off this horse. What? And for the high school, so the high school, there was some middleman that ended up getting completely scammed that had paid for the horse, and the agricultural high school was in this middle of this, but they bought the horse as well. So I think 2 people ended up paying for it. What? And the agricultural high school ended up with the horse, and this woman's like, "No, I paid for him too." So apparently they had like kind of like already sorted out these issues, and I don't know what happened, but the lady was back to claim the horse, and I literally was told to like...
Wait, she kind of like took your horse almost?
No, she was trying to. She literally brought a trailer in.
She brought a trailer?
She knew he was showing, and she was trying to like see when I was gonna leave so that she could grab the horse and take off with it in the trailer.
Wait, what?
And so this is like probably the craziest situation. So me and my mom literally had to like stay there like all like half the night.
And this was in Tunisia, or was this in France? Okay, France.
And like I literally had to stay there. We had to padlock his stall, which is so dangerous because you don't want that to happen if there's a fire. Like, but it was just like, it was at that point like it was more dangerous that like there's more of a chance that he was gonna get stolen than
stolen by like this random lady.
She was like waiting there for us to leave. So it was honestly so scary, so weird, and it was just like I was kind of like really thrown off by it, and just like
what?
It was just kind of like a weird situation, honestly. Like so I literally had to like padlock his stall. I had to stay there. Like the lady was getting kind of aggressive, and it was just like it was just kind of a weird situation, honestly. It was just
and you don't know you never know, like with people like that, like she could have a horse trailer and stuff, but there's like so many people that are just like horse hoarders, or they're just like
no, but I think that I don't even know if she was in the wrong. Like personally, I don't know the whole story, so I can't say.
Right.
But I don't know if she had not gotten recompensated, so she's like, "No, this is my horse."
Oh my
and
God.
So I don't know the situation completely clearly. I was like, this was back like a few years. I was much younger, and so like I don't think like people were wanting to tell me as much.
Yeah,
because I think they were like
this is already sus enough.
It's like already traumatic. Like you're sitting there in the horse that you're like riding and that you're like in love with is like gonna get like stolen away from you, and you're never gonna get it back. And they're like, you need to stay in front of the stall.
What?
So I'm just kind of like, it was kind of like weird, but you know, it ended up working out. He ended up being like the sweetest horse ever. Aww. And it's so sad, but like a couple years later he ended up passing away. So it's just like he had like his name was Anak, A-N-A-K, and he actually did FEI before. Wow. But he had hurt himself. He was FEI in Algeria, I believe.
Algeria?
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is another North African country.
That's insane.
That's so cool. And so he came over. And it was just like a really crazy situation, but yeah, I literally had to like stop him from getting like loaded up in a trailer and taken away.
Dude, what even is that story?
It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But
yeah, you meet some of like the most like interesting people. Like
okay, so now back to Nana.
Okay, let's go.
I wanted to ask you. Yeah. I think so. I know a lot of people study abroad too in college, and I think that it's so interesting that like while you were studying abroad, you got to ride.
Yes.
And I want to know like. How did you find the barn, A? Because I know a lot of people would be like wanting to know like how to arrange that, and how often did you ride, and like what was that situation like?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had the fortunate opportunity to ride abroad. So I was doing a program with my school, USC, my university, and I was so lucky that I was stationed in Italy, and I knew wherever I was gonna go, you know, they had different locations. I could have been in France, I could have been in Switzerland, all these different locations, but ultimately I choose Italy because of the weather and the food. But ultimately, I was very dedicated in the sense of like, as you know, like wherever I travel, I ride. I was like, there's no way I'm putting riding on a back burner.
No.
So
I feel that too. It's like, it's so, you have to.
You have to. So I was able, so the first thing I did to find the barn that I rode
How long, first of all, were you abroad?
I was abroad for a year.
Okay, so at that point, it's like, okay, 1 month is, like, tolerable to not ride. I feel like I was abroad for 1 month in Paris this summer, and I wasn't able to, like, there was no school riding places that, like, were stationed right in the city.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have a car. Like, I was by myself, not with my family. So to, like, it was impossible for me to, like, rent a car. I didn't think I'm of age to rent a car there. So it was kind of complicated. And so, like, I was going so crazy that whenever I would see, like, a police horse, I would, like, sprint there and drag, like, all my friend group and be like,
oh my
staring
God,
at the police horse for, like, 2 hours. Because
that's
I was just,
so
like,
me too. I do that as well.
But, like, a year abroad, you need to find a riding situation, because at that point, that's not going to happen, that you're going to not ride for a year.
I know.
1 month is doable, but more than that, I feel like it's not really doable.
I have to ride. So I was like, okay, found a place, and I really looked up barns in Italy that speak English, because I was like, I didn't want to go ride at a place that, like, just didn't only speak Italian.
Dude, it would have been, like, iconic. You would have had, like, some guy screaming at you in Italian, and he probably
that did happen though. Like, in one of my lessons, like, my trainer, he was just like, you should know Italian now. He's like, I'm gonna teach your lesson in Italian. I was like,
even if he's, like, saying, like, the craziest stuff, like, you won't understand. So it's like, it sounds like amazing. It
sounded amazing, but at that point too, I knew enough. I knew, like, by the time I spent a year, I knew at least, like, 45%. I'm really good at picking up languages too. So I know, like, now it's back down to 20. I'm so sad. I'm gonna try to keep it up, guys.
Yeah, we need to keep up the language.
I know, I need to keep it up, but at that point, I was at 45%. So, like, the things that he was saying, I couldn't understand every word, but you can understand every other word, then you make up what he's saying.
Yeah, so then it's like you compile. It's like a puzzle with, like, some missing pieces.
Yeah.
You, like, assume things.
Yeah, exactly.
Which can be good and bad.
Yeah, but in my case, it was pretty fine.
As long as you know left, right, straight, up, down, like, jump,
galoppo,
slow down,
trotto. Like, that's all it is. Like, as long as you know that, left, right, like, all these things, you know? So I was like, you know, I found, like, places that speak English. So I was like, I stumbled upon a barn that was 3 hours away from my school by train, which, you know, if any of you guys are European, like, traveling is just way more easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the train system, you just hop on a train. Like,
I wish we had that here,
It's
honestly.
so annoying that, like America's
just,
public transportation system sucks, dude.
Yeah.
So bad.
It's terrible.
Awful. We really need a train system. I'm over this. I'm over
sitting on the freeway and, like, driving for 3 hours to go, like, 10 miles.
It's literally stupid.
It's so annoying.
The freaking, like, 10 burned down or something that. So now I'm stuck in downtown LA, and like, to literally get anywhere, like, my sister's in Riverside, and then, like, you're here, I literally have to, like, maneuver. It literally adds, like, 20 minutes to my time.
It's terrible.
It's horrible, dude.
But yeah, anyway, so it's Italy.
Yes, so I found a barn that was 3 hours away. So I scheduled my classes, and I still do this now, but I scheduled my classes for after, like, Thursday by 12, I'd be done. So Thursday through Sunday.
And would you sleep at the stables?
Yeah, so they would have, like, they had, like, a country house. So it was,
that's
like, a whole, like, country house.
That is what they have in Europe, and I'm sure, like, other countries too.
Yes, they do that.
We don't have that here.
Because there's, like, no hospitality here.
Know.
There's no concept.
No, there's no concept of hospitality. Unless maybe I've heard of, like, Southern hospitality. Then you find
Southern hospitality, maybe you'll
here
find it
it's just like, I feel like there is, like, it's like live, breathe, die horse. It's like, you sleep there. Like, they have, like, they always have something called, like, a clubhouse at, like, the equestrian centers in Europe.
Yeah, they do. They have, like, a country house. Yes,
everybody's always like eating there. Like, everybody's hanging out there. It's
Everyone
just, like,
sleeps
so
there.
Yeah, it's so different.
Yeah, dude, there's no concept of hospitality here. None. Like, it's so sad. And especially, like, even not even in Europe, but, like, even in, like, African countries as well. It's like literally, like, people will bring you to your house, you just come and eat.
Oh yeah, I know. It's like, literally, that's why, like, it's in Africa, my experiences have been, like, it's in North Africa, like, beautiful. Like, people are just so giving, and it's
so
just, like,
kind. Yeah. We really need some of that here. Yeah,
we need it instilled, but it's also, like, there, I feel like horseback riding is, like, their baseball, so it's, like, it's different.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Everybody rides there. You literally go to, like, a sports chalet or, like, a Big Five that they have there, like, a sports outlet with all the sports clothes. They have, like, a soccer aisle.
Yes.
They have, like, a tennis aisle, and then they'll literally have 2 aisles of equestrian stuff. But here, you'll never find that.
You'll never find that. And, like, hopefully we'll change that. But, like, here, it's just not normalized in the sense of, like, in other countries, and even if, like, people don't ride a lot of horses or whatever, like, it's still very, like...
Because, like, people will casually have neighbors that have horses in their backyard.
Exactly.
It's, like, such a normalized thing.
It's very normalized. So, yeah, they had a country house that I stayed at.
And so you stayed there, what, Friday through Thursday through
Thursday
Sunday.
through Sunday, like, you know, meals included and all that stuff.
Every single week for the...
Pretty much, I did it every single week unless I was traveling with my friends. And that's the thing. As an equestrian, I'm very committed to the game, and most equestrians are. We're very, very committed.
Yeah.
So like,
drive everybody crazy around us. That's for sure.
we really do. But it's fun for us. Like, it's fun for me to travel, and the ride was beautiful. To go up from Rome all the way to the Marche region.
Rome is in the more center.
So yeah, Rome is like the center. I'm so bad with the directions.
And then where are you going
Never
north?
Eat soggy waffles. So west.
Yeah.
And then I would go north up. So like literally across, and I'd be in Fermo.
Okay.
And then I go to Porto San Giorgio, which is like this little like beach town that like even Italians, they don't know of it. Like I would talk to every Italian. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to Porto San Giorgio. They're like,
where's that?
They're like, what the like, hello, where? The same thing. I talked to a guy in an Italian restaurant because he came to me and he said, oh, ciao, Bella. And then I whipped out the Italian. I was like, ciao, come stai? And he was like, oh my gosh, you can speak.
Yeah,
and so
that's so cool.
Yeah. So we started like bantering a little bit. Then he was like, where did you like?
Okay, was it more common that guys in Italy rode? Like, okay, tell us. I think they need to know.
In Italy?
Is there any cute Italian ride that you saw? No cute Italian guys that ride horses?
I have a story.
Like, not one?
So,
like, come on, if there's no cute, like, Italian guys... Like,
no, I have a story. I have a
really
story for you. I have a story for you. You know, Mike, my standard is just very high. So, like, I generally don't find men attractive in general unless they're, like, literally, like, raised up God on earth. Like, then it's like, okay, then you're attractive to me. But there was this one guy, I didn't... Like, he was conventionally attractive, I will say that. Like, he got a lot of girls because he had longer hair and stuff like... But this guy was he's such a character. Like, this guy was such a character. Like, he had the most expensive horses in the barn. His horse was
How
like...
old was he?
Maybe my age, like 20 or something.
Okay.
His horse
so
was
he was like prime... Like, prime real estate.
His horse was like $600,000, and he had two of them.
Oh,
they were like
wow.
$600,000, like worth a lot of money. And he was just so funny because he would just ride and like, you know, I would stand in the ring and like watch different things. He would just ride and like he would literally try to run you over.
Oh my god. So
like,
no left to left.
It wasn't even. You know,
I heard the Italians are the worst drivers around. Some of the worst ones.
Is that true?
I think it's...
No, but Rome was really bad on driving.
Okay, because I've heard, like,
Awful.
my mom has, like, she said one time they had, like, an Italian friend driving them, and they said, like, no, this is the wrong exit. Like, once they're off the exit, he reversed through the exit and got back on the freeway. That is crazy. Like, that is... Italian. But, you know, it's kind of a vibe, too. Like,
that was... Yeah, it was a vibe.
Keep us on our toes, you know? Like,
he kept me on my toes. Like, he would be riding, and then, like, literally, like... You know how some people are in your way and you just kind of run them over? Like, that's fine. Like, if someone's in your way and they know that you're in the way, run them over. But, like, I would literally move to get out of this guy's way, and he would find a way to, like, literally... And, like, I'd be like, what is his problem?
He was, like, Target.
He was, like... And I was like, what's his problem? Zoom. And, like, my trainer was like, no, he does that with everyone. And, like, they were like, I don't know what to do. Like,
was he, like, pretty good rider?
Amazing.
Okay.
Incredible.
What height was he jumping?
1.60 m.
No, dude. Like 5-star Grand Prix?
Literally. He was a Grand Prix horse. That's why he had a $600,000 horse.
That's so
But,
crazy.
like, Lauren, I can't even describe to you this
So was
horse,
he beautiful or no?
He was, like, conventionally attractive. Like, he had the long hair. He was, like, pretty, like, Italian model as they get. But, like, I wasn't interested.
Like dark hair?
Yeah, dark hair. Okay. But I wasn't interested in him. I was more interested in not getting run over and pulverized by his gorgeous... I was more interested in
I just feel bad for the horse, honestly.
No, but I was more attracted to his horse. That's how you know I'm a horse girl. Yeah. You don't understand,
okay,
Lauren.
I feel you too. Like, I feel you.
You don't understand, though. This horse literally, like, his hair, oh my god, he looked like...
Was he a stallion?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I can't even describe this horse. Like, like Dream Horse, he was pure white horse. Okay. This is, like, not a gray. Pure white. Okay. It's like those horses that have the white muzzle. Yeah. Like, this was a pure white horse. And he had hair. Oh my god. And like, he literally looked like a fairy tale horse. Like, fairy tale vivid. Like, I can't even describe the strides. Like,
oh my god. That's crazy.
Beautiful animal. Oh my god, if I had $600,000, that would have been mine. But like,
I love that.
Even if I had the money, though, there was no way, because I wasn't jumping 1.60 m, and that was like a 1.60 m horse.
And he was probably very, like... Yeah. He's probably a lot of horse.
He was probably a lot of horse, but oh my god, just the most beautiful horse I've ever seen.
I love that. So it's like the only guy that rode there?
My trainer was a guy.
Okay.
My trainer was a guy, and he was amazing too.
Okay.
And then that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
I love that.
I went to an Italian horse show though.
Okay, how was that?
Amazing. I got to see a rider. Her name is Marie Lombardi. You guys can look her up. She's absolutely incredible. You guys should follow her as well. Would be me. She wears all pink when she shows.
Oh, I love that.
Always.
She's probably pretty known then if she wears all pink.
Yeah, you can spot her from a mile away. That's how I found her. I was like, who is that? I want to be her because she comes in
then
pink coat.
Gets the pink Tesla. She's
pink Tesla.
She's
pink coat, pink helmet, pink boots. Like she would show in all pink. Then her saddle would have the pink lining on it.
Oh wow.
Then her stirrups would be pink.
That's iconic.
Her bridle was pink.
Okay, that's so iconic. That's pretty iconic.
I can't.
You know, it's like, okay, the ones that are cringe is like, when you have like just one thing of bright color, it's like, okay, like unnecessary. But like when you have like the full set of everything and you own that color, that is respect. That's respect. You know,
but that's who I want to be. You know, like I want to go and like show in a hunter like derby and get disqualified for wearing pink. Like I think that would be the funniest stuff. Like that would be so
enter
funny.
The ring. They're like, please exit the arena.
They're like, get out of the arena.
It's
like
they make a new rule for her where it's like the rules are like you get asked to exit if you're like what is it like
pink shad. Like, hot pink shad belly.
Okay, you get asked to exit if you like are off course. You get asked to exit if like you do something really bad. Like, but they're gonna invent a new rule for you get asked to exit if you're wearing something completely obnoxious.
Yeah, they're literally gonna be like, this is embarrassing. But like honestly, like when I have the money, I'm gonna do it for the meme and the plot and the troll. Like I'm just gonna come. Like I have the money to spend. It doesn't matter if I get disqualified, and I'm gonna do it on a horse that has had so many miles on the circuit that like there's bias with this horse. So like I'm gonna ride a perfect horse.
You know what I've heard? I don't know if this is true, but I know in the hunter ring, like when they if certain trainers clap a certain way, like a beat to it, the judge will know that it's like something.
Yes, there's like a rhythm.
Yeah.
So if like there's a little, no, but it's just if it's like a whoop, whoop.
Yeah, but like, is everybody doing that now? Like
yes.
that cat, like that,
yes.
that call, like now, like. Yeah, but like if everybody does it, then how do you know who's like who are you supposed to put first?
It's like the loudest, like the louder, better, or like there's a rhythm to it. Like there's some like specific trainers.
There's code words. I swear there's code words.
Yeah,
it's like baseball where they start like touching their ears and their nose, and then it's like that means something.
And there's like specific trainers, like almost their clap, like the iconic trainers on the circuit that like everyone knows, like that's their clap.
But then it's like not okay when like that trainer that like just got on the circuit starts like doing that clap, and you're just like no.
Yeah,
like, that
but
also
there's like a little, like there's a tonality to it. It's like a method, like it's a math. Like there's a tonality where it's like, if someone's new and they're like, woo, 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 like you're like, that's not them. That's not the horse. Yeah. That's not the star. Get them out. Like
and there's like 7 lane changes and like, ooh, 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 ooh.
No, literally, like me with a pop chip and it's like, whoop, whoop. Like it's so bad. But no, as a hunter, like we're told to clap like after a round, and like sometimes we're told to clap a certain way.
Yeah.
That's why if you ever go to a hunter horse show and you hear like why are they cheering like that, it's a very specific cheer. I've never heard it in any other sport. It's always like
it's kind of a little bit like colty.
It is colty.
I don't know if I like that.
You don't like it?
Yeah, I like. That's why I do jumpers, guys. You know, give me the clock, and that's all I'm going against.
That's why I switched to jumpers too, because I love hunters.
Okay, don't get me wrong. I love hunters too, but I learned a lot through hunters.
I just want to wear pink. That's why I'm a show jumper.
I'm thankful that I did hunters though, because it taught me a lot of the basic foundations.
That's what we need.
I think that everybody honestly should go through a little hunter era to really learn.
Yes.
Because then you kind of turn into like the crazy European people, and I can say this because I'm European. And I go there and I see some
French
people.
Guys.
I see people like flying through the turns, and you're like, there's no such thing as a distance somehow. Like
none.
It just like accelerates. There's no strides. Like literally, I've had trainers. Like I've worked with trainers before, where like if I count over like 5 strides, they're like, stop counting. Like at that point, you don't need to count anymore. And I'm like, I've worked with trainers here that like up to like 9 to 10 strides you count.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, 9 to 10 for me is a little bit much. I think I cap at like 8.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, it's just like,
it depends what line it is. Yeah.
But But like the trainers there, like it's literally like after 5 strides, I've had some trainers be like, oh, like you don't need to keep counting. Like why are you still walking? And I'm just like, 6 to 7 is kind of sketchy if I don't know where I am. Not gonna lie.
That's a little sketchy. And I think too, it's just like I'm sorry, when I went to go watch like the horse show at Italy, it was the scariest thing. Like it was the scariest thing. Like people are like holding on. Like,
but the thing is that the horses like make up for it there.
They do.
They hoard literally all the best horses in Europe.
Yeah, they do. They hold all the best horses.
Really, really nice ones end up here, but with a price tag of like $1 billion.
Yeah, literally.
And then there you casually have like a riding school horse that jumps at meter 20, and you're just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, literally. So they're all held there, and so you can ride any which way. But it's like when you like come here, it's like very like it's very different in the sense of like you can't do, and especially like we do like hunter, and I'm still in the eck ring. Like I will say I'm a jumper, but also I'm still doing eck. I love the eck, but like the eck is so good because it gives you that you're literally in the middle. It's like hunters and jumpers, and it's like now you're graded on your position, which is amazing.
Because then it's like so horse focused with the hunters too,
So,
that it's
yeah.
like
So
if
much
you don't
bias,
have like the best looking
so much
horse,
hate
that's
too.
like, yeah.
So much hate for no reason. Like hate against paint horses.
Yeah.
Hate against like colors. Like I can't wear pink. I would love to wear pink. Like I honestly like screw tradition. Like I don't care. Like I would love. It's a color. How are we triggered by a color? That's
No,
what
exactly.
I don't get.
Okay, so back to the questions.
Yes. So I have a very fun question for Lauren, and she's the only one that can answer this because literally, if you guys haven't seen, Lauren's very iconic. But I know you love to party. What is your craziest clubbing story abroad?
Craziest clubbing story?
Yeah.
Okay, let me think. Okay, so literally, I'm the type of person that like, I have like this thing in my brain that like literally I can like go for like hours and hours because I don't drink alcohol.
Me neither.
So
yeah, we're both very sober queens.
I don't drink any alcohol. So like when I go out, I'm like, this is for networking. Like, how many business contacts can we get?
Yeah.
And like, let's just have fun. And I love to dance. Like, I'm a dancer.
We're very the same.
So it's like when I go out, I'm gonna be like dancing, and then like if you're like a business contact, like let's have a conversation.
Yes.
You know, that's my two things. So I've like been, let's see, craziest clubbing story.
Abroad.
Dude, honestly, okay, every night is honestly like so iconic. Like it's just like always so iconic.
Tell them your routine.
Okay, my routine. So literally what I do is okay, this is like, for example, this summer on study abroad. I was in Paris. The clubbing scene in Paris is like the best ever. Like
Yeah.
they have the best clubbing scene. Like the one thing that I will say is that everybody's like, they don't like Americans. It's not true, guys. Because I was with a ton of Americans and they got in just fine. It's just that they don't like when like you come there and are like super loud and screechy and like look like you're waiting in line to go to Disneyland.
I never had a bad experience in Paris, I will say.
I don't know why people are like
did.
the French are like so rude.
And I've been to Paris now 3 times. Yeah, I've never had a bad
But what
experience.
they don't like is that the Americans sometimes will be very loud and screechy. They'll literally have like, I'm half American, so I can say this, but like barely any sense of style.
No respect. Yeah, no style. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry,
You
but
have no style here.
After living in Italy, everyone comes dressed to class.
You go to school like you're dressed.
Go to class dressed, guys.
It's like part of like it's part of like literally getting ready in the morning and like how do you feel good if you look like a slug all day? Like if you look like a slug, like you're just gonna have the worst day ever, and that's why there's so much negative energy here.
So much negative energy.
Like, I can just feel it.
It's because you guys don't feel good in yourselves.
Yeah, and
you're
just like you walk outside and it's like you should just be like staying in bed at that point.
And that
like,
doesn't mean you have to come out like full beat drag with makeup or something, but like just dress up. Like effort. Like please do not go to class. If any of you watching this podcast go to class in your pajamas, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, do not.
Don't
like
do
I can't
that.
even do. I can't. Yeah.
Don't, because
it
it's
actually
just,
triggers me when people do that.
It's literally triggering. Like it's just because it's just like.
And it's not that much harder to put on a pair of jeans versus leggings.
It's just for you.
Like,
it's literally for
like,
you.
Yeah.
It's not for anyone else but for you. Like, do you like have that kind of like just like happiness for yourself that like I'm gonna put a little bit of effort into myself today?
No, exactly.
Just like for me, you know, like for an affirmation for yourself. I feel like the first thing you have to do every day is attend to yourself.
No, exactly.
Attend to yourself. And if you're not doing that, put 10 minutes in a day to attend to yourself.
10 minutes, and if you go like this with your arms, you literally like could be doing this with sweatpants or doing this with like really nice pants.
Literally,
like
put effort in yourself. Effort. Give yourself that credit. Give yourself that validation.
And honestly, some of the sweatpants are just as expensive as like a nice looking pair of regular jeans. So
and it's like you guys are
sweatpants are expensive. It's like $100 for something that makes you look like a slug. Like
literally,
it's literally so triggering. Okay, so back to my iconic.
Yes, back to it.
I just thought of the most iconic equestrian tide like party story.
Yes,
so
tell me.
So this summer, like, it's been my mom and I's dream to like go to like a Longines like equestrian, like a Longines competition. Like I've wanted to like my whole life. And
I love her mom, by the way.
My mom is like also like she grew up riding Western, so like she's like on that like horse girl stuff. You know, she knows and she loves the horses. She's like my backbone. She if you've seen me at a horse show, you've definitely seen my mom. And so she's so iconic. So I literally told her, my friend that I've like had for a few years now, he told me, he was like, hey, like I've been working with him on some charity stuff. So he's like, we're having a charity event and we actually happens to be the same weekend as like the Longines, like why don't you come out? And this was not like a planned in advance thing. This was like a come out like tomorrow. And mind you, this is in Monaco, like in the south, like near the south, in the south of France. Yeah. And I was in Paris studying abroad. So I look at my mom and I'm just like,
that's like far, dude.
Do we go? Like, this is tomorrow. So we literally bought our tickets like less than 24 hours before we went. We went, and it was like over the weekend, and I was there for his charity, so I got to see that whole experience. But then I also got to see the experience of the Longines like Global Champions Tour horse show, which was so amazing. And I had so much fun. The facilities, like, it was so amazing. It's like a once in a lifetime, guys. And so once that happened, we literally, like, mind you guys, I'm literally in my club dress because I knew we were going to go out after the Longines Global Champions Tour because everybody from the tour goes out to this one iconic club that's right on, it's like, think about this, Monaco's like a Formula One city, basically. So it's right on the track, and they have right on that main part of the track where the whole entire harbor is with all the boats. They have the Longines Global Champions Tour, but they also have an iconic club that's right there that everybody goes to after the horse show. So I'm like, this is gonna be cool. Like,
this is gonna be good.
Like, this is gonna be good.
Yeah.
And so, literally, so I had an amazing experience at his cocktail event for the charity. I also got to watch the horse show, which was so cool. And I know him, like, he's very spontaneous like me. He literally, I just knew we were gonna go out, even though he's like, oh, we'll see, like, we're going out.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, we're not going out to one place. We'll probably end up at like 4 places, and that's what it's gonna be. So I literally brought like the most uncomfortable pair of shoes. Let me mind you, it's so embarrassing. Flashback to like literally, I was in a club dress.
What shoes were they?
In high heels.
Oh.
So luckily I brought a pair of tennis shoes and my high heels. That's all I brought, but I was in full makeup, full hair, in a dress in the airport in Paris leaving because we landed straight in Nice, and we took a train from Nice to Monaco. Mind you, my mom, like, we're in like our full club, like, going out attire.
Like attire, yeah.
So we literally are at this point we put our heels on once we arrive at the Monaco train station, and it's literally like a 5-minute walk.
In the train station with heels?
Yeah, in our club dresses. So we literally walked first to the Monaco like Grand Prix. It was like that's
a lot of walking.
I think it was. Yeah. And we saw the Grand Prix, and then we switched back to tennis shoes because I'm like, there's no way I can do this. And like, we look like kind of crazy because like nobody's in heels here, and like we are offensive. So I literally was like, we're like, why are we like in heels, like walking like after sundown,
looking a little ratchet?
So I'm like, this is not a look, so let's just like put on our shoes.
You're right.
And mind you, still in our like club dresses, all this.
Yes.
And then we go to the event. The Grand Prix is amazing. Once the Grand Prix is over, I joined my friend for his charity event. That went so well. I threw back my heels on at this point. And then I look at him, and he's with all of his group of friends, and he's like, we're gonna go out. And I'm like, I knew it. So I literally, mind you guys, I flew in, the plane landed at 7:30 p.m. Mm-hmm. The Grand Prix started at like 8:15. Mm-hmm. We were there like right at the start. Like somehow we ended up there. We ended up on like the last train, the last taxi, like last everything. Like always with me, it's the last, okay? It's always has to be like that. My friends like are literally,
I can contest.
Like my friends literally, I drive them crazy because they know they're gonna have an iconic like once in a lifetime experience. Because
really.
She
brings it every time.
But then it's like a near like life or death experience somehow.
Disorganized,
like,
organized chaos. That's all I can say. Disorganized, organized.
Because I'm like, oh no, we'll get there. Like I can see us at the final destination, but the way we get there is like a little bit mishmashed and like a lot of frame.
She sees the final vision, and then she just runs at it. But
even
then,
though like we have like 60 obstacles
in between. But it's like she's gonna get you to the final vision though. That's why I love hanging out with her. It's like we're gonna get there.
It just might be like 12 hours later, but we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that this time because literally the Grand Prix was starting, and I'm like, we're not gonna miss this. We're not gonna literally. I'm telling you guys, we landed at 8 p.m. 7:30 or 8, and then we had a flight out in the morning at like 7 in the morning.
Sheesh.
So I literally got there for the Grand Prix. We went to the cocktail event. We went out, and straight from the club, we went back on the plane because I had class the next day.
What?
Yeah.
You did that on a day?
In one day. Like not even one day. It was like 12 hours.
What?
Yeah. It was 12 hours. So we literally got there at night and had to leave at 6 in the morning. And so literally I told him, I'm like, look, like let's go out, but like I do have to be on a flight at 6 in the morning. Yeah. And so literally the whole clan that we're all with, the whole group, the whole squad, they're all leaving back like on international flights at 6 in the morning too.
Oh my god!
And so we're just like, great.
Organized, unorganized chaos.
So then we show up there. We go to like 4 different clubs. It's like so iconic, but like literally with him, like we're always like walking like 600 miles, like I'm like literally all over Monaco, like
oh my
running
God.
around. So I like was dying in my heels, like I didn't
Wait,
even care.
is that the video where you have like you're running through like the streets of like France or something?
No, that's
like
another thing.
Oh.
It happens a lot. This happens literally a lot. But yeah, we ended up going to like this iconic club called La Rascasse, which is like the most cool club, like right on the strip, like right next to Longines. Like I literally was like, they were taking down the Longines thing right there. We went to another one called like Buddha Bar. It was so cool. It was very much vibe. It was like very much like Gossip Girl vibes, which was so much fun. And it was just like iconic because like I felt like I literally, and like once I was done, I literally had to like, we had to get a taxi to get back onto the plane because I had school and I could not miss it the next day. Like I literally was gonna like get a 0.
So did you make it?
We didn't make it because we couldn't find a taxi.
You didn't make it?
Pause. We couldn't find a taxi. Okay guys, we're having a literal visceral reaction right now because the camera, like
visceral.
We have a camera over here recording the audio and that one died, and it died like midway through like the best rant ever.
The best rant ever.
And I'm pissed, okay?
I'm pissed too.
Really pissed.
I'm actually triggered, so we're probably gonna even get even more offensive this round.
This
is round 2, so we're even gonna get more offensive. I'm sorry, if you're easily offended, click off, because we're gonna pop off. We're popping off.
So basically, back to my story about literally like how I'm a crazy person and I decided to go to Monaco for 10 hours to like see a horse show, go to a charity event, and like literally like go to 4 clubs and like somehow make it back to school.
Yeah.
So once we went out and had fun, okay, whatever, it was so much fun, like all my friends were there, like great, okay. Then literally it's time to go home, and like I have a class that I can't miss, and I'm still like, mind you guys, this whole time I'm still in like clublet, dress, heels, all this stuff. I look at my mom and I'm like, we have to go, like we're gonna miss our train back. And the problem is that there's no Ubers in Monaco, so you have to call a taxi to take you to the train station. Taxis were not available either because everybody was leaving the competition. For some reason, Monaco was like on like overdrive.
It's the same thing in Italy too.
Yeah,
they don't have like Uber at all.
It was on overdrive at that point. Taxi wasn't even working. We went to like several hotels begging them to like for somebody to like take us, and they were like
begging.
no. And like no, actually begging. Like we were crying, and like the people were like, I'm sorry. So I was gonna miss my class and I couldn't do that. So literally, guys, I ended up freaking like I had a genius idea. We sprinted to the border of Monaco and got one step in. I ordered an Uber from there to go back to France, like go back into France, because technically Monaco is not part of the France.
Yeah.
It's its own principality. And so we get back into France, and I'm like literally like, can you please bring us to the train station? And then like 10 minutes into the ride, I'm like, we're gonna miss it. And like I could tell that, guys, we were gonna miss the train by 2 minutes. So I literally had this deep down crunching like urge in my stomach, and I'm like, we're gonna have to like chase this train because it has a stop in like 30 minutes, and like we're just gonna have to like find a way to get to it. And so I literally look at the Uber driver, and you know, some Uber drivers are not very forgiving and some are, and we love the ones that are, because I looked at this guy and I was like, is there any way, like, do you see that train right there that's like going, like we need to catch that? And he's like, okay. And I was just like, that guy literally put in Sport Mode Plus on a car that was like literally from like 45 years ago, and the thing was like screaming, guys. It was like, ooh, and he was like gassing it, dude. I thought we were literally gonna die. Like, I don't know how many people we cut off. Like, we did not look for pedestrians. Like, there was no, like, we were just going, okay? And so we get to the train station, it's gone. Get to the second train station, gone. I'm like, there's literally one more stop before Paris. Like, we have to make it.
All the trains are conveniently gone.
And so we were like, there's one more stop, so we have to like keep chasing it as it's going from stop to stop. We keep missing it.
He was still driving you. That's so funny.
I think he was so committed at that point that he was even pissed for us. He's like, we are not missing this train. So he's like flooring it. We're like racing the train, and we luckily made it, guys, by like 1 minute. We hop on the train, people are staring at us, and we're like hyperventilating. And I remember a guy like giving us the death glare, because I was like, you know when you're like so adrenalized and like you're just talking really loud, and like as an American being here, like, I know it's a stereotype, but it's true. We talk really loudly. And it really offends the Europeans. And I know that. I'm half European too, and it offends me when I've been there for over 2 months, people talking loud. I adjust to that. But at this point, I had just flown in, and I was screaming and on the train, and it was like 6 a.m. People were literally like taking the train to go sleep, like sleeping on it, going to work like 2 hours away, whatever, they're commuting, and they did not want to be bothered. And so I was screaming, I get like death glares, whatever. We end up making it back to Paris. I end up making it to my class. I literally think I literally wore my club dress into the class with full face makeup. But like the next day, look of full face makeup after you've been like out all night. So kind of like a little bit like looking a little visceral.
Yeah,
you know?
a little dinged up.
Like, woo, okay. So,
a little bit like from the streets.
Yeah, literally. So I didn't have my heels on. That would have been like, you know, I probably should have put those on just to like give everybody a nice kick.
Just for the meme.
But yeah, we made it, and that's about it. We, you know, even though it was such a crazy experience, I would definitely do it again. So if you guys want to join me next time, let me know, because I'll just round up a whole troop and we'll all go.
She's always like this. Like it's just the scariest thing. But honestly, I recommend a Lauren excursion. It is actually like full of death, full of fear, full of
like
passion,
you're just like don't know how you're gonna get to point Z, but like somehow you do. You're gonna get there, but like we might lose a few soldiers. And
I love it because it's just like trust the process. That's really who she is. It's just trust the process. You're gonna get there.
Yeah, the process is like unexistent, but like it's fine.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, so now we're gonna pop Nana on the hot seat since I've been sizzling over here.
Last question, guys. We're gonna run through this quick because the lighting is killing us.
Yeah, the lighting is really negative right now.
Negative plus.
So basically, Nana used to be a hunter rider, and I want to know her perspective. Like, Europe doesn't really have the hunters, and why do you think they don't have it over there? Because like it has to be more than just like not having the horses, because they have the horses. I know it. We get some really good hunters there and bring them over, but like what is it that's like keeping it from being blocked?
Dude, I think it's just the lack of like awareness almost, and like actually understanding what physically like the hunters is. Like you guys have seen on my account, I have done several videos on like what hunters is, the education and all that stuff, and all of it is like comments filled with like it's weird, it's weird, it's weird. It's not weird, it's different, and there's a reason we have hunters, and there's a reason Europe should have hunters as well, because it's not weird. That's like me like literally trashing dressage, because like my horse doesn't do dressage. My horse would never do ballet or like literally do like military discipline, so like it's weird. Like no, it's just a specific
it's just
discipline.
different.
It's different, and there's a specific thing that we look for in hunter horses. We look for confirmation, like not just confirmation, because jumpers have a different confirmation that we look for. Same thing in a western. Like if you look for a western horse, different confirmation. We're looking for a hunter confirmation. Is the head a little bit lower? Is there less knee action?
And you know what's so iconic too is like for me, like whenever I go there and like they try to add on a couple hunter classes. Yeah. And whenever I try to go there, it's like so hilarious when they're like, oh, we have this hunter, and I'm like, oh, no way, and I'm like, let me see, and they show me, and it's a horse with like every single like thing disproportionate. Like I'm like, there's
disproportionate.
I'm like, there's no way this is a hunter. Like you picked,
not a hunter.
If anything, like this is the jumper. Like let me show you one down the hall that could like pass as one.
Literally,
like they don't know.
They don't know. There's no like understanding of what the hunter is. And I've had so many comments from the Europeans literally being on my account, like on TikTok, and they'll literally be like, oh, my horse rides slow. Maybe I should just send him to America, LOL. Or like, hunters seem so easy. I'm just gonna send my horse to America because they ride in a straight track.
It's so funny. The slow is what they think is hunters, but they don't think that like the fact that he's slow but looks like a giraffe, like literally is like the fact that like it's not gonna work either.
It's
like
not gonna work. And there's an art to hunters. You have to ride the discipline very specifically. And here's another thing. Hunters is stylistic, and I've explained this over and over, and there's no understanding. Hunters is a stylistic
which, no offense to the horses that look like giraffes. I mean, some of them make amazing jumpers, and they like win Grand Prix. I wish I could have a horse like that.
Me
like,
too.
Winning like
dude, my horse is like he's beautiful, but he's literally a giraffe. Like he literally hangs his head.
If the horse is winning millions of dollars of Grand Prix, that's like everybody would want. Anyone would want a horse like that.
No, literally.
Oh my god. Yeah. Is somebody literally mowing the lawn right now? Because like that's like, why are you mowing the lawn when it's dark?
Can we ask him to stop?
Should we?
Yeah. I'm like over it.
Okay.
Like I'm actually gonna go.
Okay, guys. So basically, we're going back to the thing. I think we would all love a horse that like looks like a giraffe, but it's winning like $1 million Grand Prix.
Literally,
everyone would want that. But the thing is that that's not a hunter. Like if he looks like
it's not a hunter, and like it's very, very specific. Where it's like we're looking for different things. It's a stylistic discipline, and it's like that's not bad because we're being stylistic, but it's also still effective, which people don't understand. Yeah. Like hunters is still effective. We are just riding in a different way.
Yeah, it's like comparing like doing it's mountain biking. It's like doing a mountain biking excursion with like a race bike. Like,
literally, you don't do it. And there's like different things. Like our horses are built differently. Hunter horses ride differently. They jump differently. That's what people don't understand. They take a whole nother discipline. It's a whole nother
world. Which I think is
incredibly
important to grow up. Like I grew up doing a couple years of hunters, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
actually sending massive hate to that guy. Actually sending massive energies of hate. Like, actually sending massive waves of, like, hate and bad vibes. Like, massive. Like,
Run.
That's going in bloopers. That
So
was
yeah,
funny.
literally, okay, so what we're gonna do is just, go back. And I literally am, like, hypoglycemic, like, I haven't eaten, I'm just so hungry right now. Okay. Anyway, so going back, okay, hunters is so effective, and I feel like you learn a lot. It's different.
You do.
I think you need both the dressage basics, you need the flat work, but you also need the hunters. Hunters, it's like accuracy with the jumps, and like striding and all that, and having tempo. Then the dressage really kicks in, where it's like you need to know how to like build that sensitivity to the horse, having the horse respond to you, really moving off your leg, having all those different working so that you can have a great track.
There is room for both. Like, if you guys have ever watched Drag Race, there's this very funny quote from Gia Gunn where she's like, "There's room for everyone. There's room for everyone. There's room for jumpers.
Well, you need everyone.
Like hunters and dressage.
Because honestly, if everybody started doing the jumpers here and we had to like compete
hunters
against
need more dressage. Jumpers need more hunters. Like Europeans need more hunters. Americans need more dressage. Literally, there's room for everyone, but there's no room for bashing a discipline that you don't understand.
No, exactly.
Because you're not going to come for hunters just because you don't understand it.
Yeah,
because there is a point for hunters.
That's so true.
Like there's a point, and there's so much that you learn. It grounds you in education. And thank God I was a hunter rider. I loved being a hunter rider, and like I'm still going to do some hunter classes with Santiago. I haven't completely left, guys. I'm not throwing away my degree.
And if I had an opportunity to ride a hunter horse, I would.
Yeah,
I'm super happy though with Cornwall and the jumpers right now.
I'm very happy too. I love jumpers as well. But like that's what I'm saying. It's very hard to find a certain type of horse that can make it in the jump. And there's amazing barns, like the barns in the Netherlands. Like they got it. There's breeding barns that have the foundation that they're like, these are what the Americans are looking for. If you ask any of those top barns, those top breeding barns from Germany, Netherlands, France, and you ask them, they tell you that there's a foundation and an importance for hunters.
And they train them differently. And I think even like the jumpers, they're probably trained with more dressage because like Cornwall, he was, I mean, I don't even know how I ended up with him. He is like such an amazing horse. I'm so thankful for him. I'm so lucky to have him. And he was trained actually at Ludger Beerbaum Stables in Germany, which is an incredible barn. I mean, amazing. And his breeding line's incredible, but he was really, they did a lot of flat work with him. And it really shows now because he's just so, like his track and everything, he's just so accurate. So it's like, I'm so thankful to be able to ride a horse like that. And you can feel it. You can feel the flat work in him. And like the balance, especially the balance.
The balance. And the same thing with Santiago. Like Santiago's from Mexico, and like Mexican horses, oh my God, fantastic horses. Fantastic. And like they train with a lot of dressage down there. And this horse, like you ride Santiago, he's literally a dressage horse. Like he's more...
Yeah, he looks so uphill, so balanced.
He's such an uphill horse. He's
like if you didn't want to jump one day, you could literally go into dressage.
I could literally just do dressage. Like the minute he like retires from jumping, like I think I'll just do dressage on him because he's a beautiful dressage horse. He can do everything. He can do leg yields. He can do the little half step thing. He can do the half pass thing. He can do shoulder in. He does shoulder in like a pro.
Leg yields.
I've done so much shoulder in with him. It's the easiest thing for him. He literally like curves up. Okay, and that makes him a fantastic jumper because he literally will win every time. Because you know what? He's not only a big strided horse. Yes, he can go fast,
but he can turn tight.
He can turn like a.
And that's what Cornwall too. He can turn super tight. He's super quick.
Tight. I literally took a weird angle jump because we were doing like, have you ever done the exercise, the circle of death?
Yeah. No, it's like where you have to get a certain amount of strides in between each one.
I was doing the circle. I was doing the circle of death, and like I was literally dying as I was doing it, and like I literally made him like I was so like dying that there was one point at one of the point like the jumps like that's just like straight ahead. I literally like I don't even understand. Like he was tracking.
Did you almost like break your entire knee on the standard?
No, he was tracking like I was like literally not paying attention because I was literally trying to get the strides. I was so like literally dying because I'm literally trying to chug this like pounds of like 18,000 like tons, and so I literally like am galloping and he's going this way and the jump is like this. The jump is like this, and he's going this way, and literally he's so equitation, he's so dressage that he literally just doesn't even care. He could literally, and I was like, oh great, he can do lateral jumps on a straight, like that's perfect. He just goes, and I was like, okay. Like, that's the type of horses that you need in every discipline, though.
So, but essentially, guys, hunters, so incredibly infected with the jumping. It's so important. Dressage so important. And
so important.
My favorite, show jumping, which that builds you all the way up to that.
Yeah. So guys, listen, these were all generalizations.
Yes.
I just want to make that clear.
Yeah,
like, we were generalizing a lot
today.
But there was a reason for that.
Yeah.
Because we have to make these blanket statements for there to be any type of like understanding. Because like obviously not all Europeans
not all
like
Europeans,
not all Americans think
yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
But there needs to be like something that we just say that like gets the point across. Because like literally like sorry guys, that's why I said it was gonna be triggering because like we don't tread lightly here.
No, but and it's just like a generalization because a lot of people do think like that.
Yeah.
But also, we don't want to get like, we weren't generalizing to put everybody into one basket. It was more just to like make a statement. That's all.
Yeah, we're just making a statement here. But honestly, guys, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes, thank you so much for watching the first podcast.
Thank you so much.
We're so excited because we have some really cool people we are trying to get on. It's gonna be amazing. We're so excited.
If you guys have any recommendations for topics or anything like that, leave them in the comments
below. If you're
below.
a sponsor and potentially want to sponsor us,
if you want to sponsor us,
yes.
let us know. We would love to have you. We would love to showcase you guys on the Horse Girls podcast and get you guys featured. So guys,
basically, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much.
This is the first of like, we're still learning like the ins and outs of how to make a podcast, the video, the recording, the lighting, everything.
We're gonna film at the crack of dawn.
Yeah, it's just like we're trying to figure this out. So bear with us. The episodes will get better and better, and we're really excited to see where this goes. And I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Woo.